So here we are more than a year after the fateful night of November 8th, 2016, when we elected this man. And it's worse than we thought. We lived through Muslim bans.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Crowd sizes.
Inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
Crazy staffers. Charlottesville.
I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either.
And shithole countries.
Immigrants. Reports say the headline-making remarks happened during a meeting on immigration in the Oval Office. As you can see, some newspapers are printing the quote, others keeping it out of the bold print. A kind of split is happening.
The one problem our hero can't seem to shake is this man. Ah, the special counsel, digging on a witch hunt for how Russia meddled in our election, and is still doing it, and they'll do it again. Oh, nothing to worry about here. As a computer software engineer, I like to consider all the possible things that might happen so we can anticipate what's going to happen each step along the way. Here's my guide as to how this mess is all going to end up. First, let's start with Trump. He has one singular mission in his presidency, and that's to avoid getting impeached. And he sees his best route to not getting impeached is getting this man fired. However, this man, Rod Rosenstein, is in his way. Since only Rosenstein can fire Mueller, Trump will try anything to get Rosenstein fired. Got that straight? So let's say Rosenstein stays, and therefore Mueller stays. Mueller stays long enough so he can submit a report to Congress. The report recommends lots of things, but above all, it will recommend whether to impeach or not to impeach. Hold that thought. Now let's go down the other road. This time, Trump somehow manipulates someone, perhaps Devin Nunes will have a role, you think, to get Rosenstein fired. Finally, now he can get someone in charge of the Russia investigation who he can control. How about this man, Rudy Giuliani? Finally, someone who's not recused who can make this happen. And within days of being in charge of the Russia investigation, we have a Saturday Night Massacre. Trump learned well from this man, since Watergate worked out so well for Nixon. So where are we? Mueller fired? Mueller not fired? Report recommends impeachment? Or not? It doesn't matter. The next move will come from the House of Representatives. Let's say the report, while issuing a number of indictments and getting a number of guilty pleas, vindicates Trump. The next move will come from this man. Yes, Paul Ryan has the sole responsibility of whether articles of impeachment are ever drawn up or voted on in the House of Representatives. And the outcome of this case will be that Paul Ryan does nothing. Democrats will hyperventilate. Trump and Republicans will yell fake news. Now let's say the report does recommend impeachment of Trump. The next move, Paul Ryan does nothing. Democrats will still hyperventilate. Trump and Republicans will still yell fake news. But what if Mueller was fired before a report was ever put together? There'll be lots of leaks in the news media, but the next move is still from the House of Representatives. And guess what? Paul Ryan does nothing. Democrats will hyperventilate. Trump and the Republicans will yell fake news. Amazing. We're at exactly the same place as we are now, except that there is an election in 2018. Let's see what happens next. Let's assume that despite the apparent blue wave, Republicans with gerrymandering and voter suppression are able to hold on to both the House and the Senate. Then Trump is allowed to wreck the country for another 2 years with his unique combination of incompetence and racism. See you in 2020. But if the Democrats take the House, that makes for a different story. Suddenly, it's not Paul Ryan deciding whether impeachment will ever be considered. No matter what the outcome or status of the Mueller investigation, there will be articles of impeachment drawn up as soon as the Democrats take over. And it will pass the House as every Democrat will agree that Trump should be impeached. I don't think I'm going out on a limb here. Then it comes down to the Senate. And what will the 2018 election bring for that razor-thin Republican margin? It's a tough map for Democrats, but they only have to flip 2 seats to mean that the decider-in-chief will be this guy instead of this guy. It is written in Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution that the Senate must take up a trial based on the House's act of impeachment. If this guy is running the Senate, he could, through maneuvers and memos, somehow run out the clock till the 2020 election, but I don't think he will. There will be a trial in the U.S. Senate. If this guy runs the Senate, you can guarantee there'll be a trial, and no matter which party is in charge, it still takes a two-thirds vote in the Senate to remove a president from office. What happens next? Your guess is as good as mine. It will come down to some number of senators to determine who we have as president. This man or this man. Did you follow the whole chart? I didn't think so, but I truly believe that we will restore our democracy from this despot. Democrats, progressives, Republicans with a conscience, this is our time. Just like we got rid of this guy, and we got rid of this guy. Whether it's by impeachment or good old-fashioned election in 2020, we will get rid of this guy.